Welcome to the Nexus Briefing.
Good to be here. What's on deck today?
Well, markets had a bit of a roller coaster this week, especially with tech.
Yeah, I saw that. Emerging markets took a hit too, right?
They did. Biggest drop in months. Apparently, all those AI bubble fears.
So the AI bubble is a real concern.
It seems to be weighing on investors' minds, especially regarding how much leverage big tech is taking on.
Makes sense. What about individual companies? Nvidia was all over the place.
Big swings, even after blowout earnings. Cathie Wood bought some, reinforcing her bullish stance.
She's still a believer. Anyone else making headlines?
Larry Ellison briefly became the world's richest person thanks to Oracle, but those gains evaporated quickly.
Ouch. A $130 billion hit. That's rough.
The market giveth, and the market taketh away. What about crypto? Bitcoin doing any better?
Nope. Headed for its worst month since 2022. All that corporate collapse fallout is still lingering.
Bitcoin ETF inflows are disappearing, which is never a good sign for crypto bulls.
Are any sectors looking relatively strong right now?
Well, some analysts are pointing to companies that return cash to shareholders through dividends and buybacks.
That makes sense. A safe haven in a volatile market.
Exactly. Speaking of safer investments, bonds were up after some comments from the Fed.
Williams hinting at potential rate cuts?
Possibly, but Collins suggested holding steady is appropriate for now. It's mixed signals.
More uncertainty. Let's switch gears. What's happening on the geopolitical front?
Plenty. The U.S. has a plan for ending the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and it's causing a stir.
I saw something about that. Critics are saying it rewards aggression.
Exactly. The U.S. is effectively asking Ukraine to cede territory, limit its military, and give up on NATO.
That's a huge concession. What's the EU's take on all this?
They're scrambling to buy Ukraine more time and working on a new ceasefire framework.
They need to find some middle ground, fast.
There's also tension brewing between China and Japan over Taiwan.
Always a powder keg.
China sent a letter to the UN threatening self-defense if Japan intervenes militarily.
Escalating rhetoric. And what about the Middle East?
The ceasefire between Israel and Hamas is holding, but the situation remains incredibly fragile.
Constantly walking on eggshells. Anything else on the international scene?
The G20 is calling for greater protection of critical minerals, a veiled reference to China's export curbs.
Trade wars are never really over, are they?
It seems not. South Africa is also gearing up for municipal elections that will test its ruling alliance.
Political landscape is always shifting.
Speaking of politics, Marjorie Taylor Greene is reportedly resigning from Congress in January.
That's quite a shakeup. Back to business. What about corporate news? Any big mergers or acquisitions?
EssilorLuxottica is reportedly looking to buy a stake in Giorgio Armani after his passing.
That would be a major move in the fashion world.
Also, Daily Mail is set to acquire The Telegraph after Redbird Capital Partners withdrew its offer.
Media landscape is consolidating fast.
Tyson Foods is closing a beef plant in Nebraska and cutting a shift in Texas.
Ouch, that's a tough blow for those communities.
Smallest American cattle herd in decades is really impacting the meat industry.
What about the tech sector? Any interesting developments there?
Meta is venturing into electricity trading to power its AI ambitions.
So they are becoming a utility company, in a way.
Quite the bet. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is expanding its U.S. presence to meet AI demand.
They're building up capacity everywhere.
Rapidus, Japan's state-backed chip venture, is aiming to go public around 2031.
Bolstering domestic chip-making capabilities is a priority for many countries.
Definitely. Hanhai is also planning a huge expansion in U.S. manufacturing to serve NVIDIA and OpenAI.
More investment in AI infrastructure.
And in personnel news, Airbnb's CTO is stepping down in December.
A leadership change at the top.
Right. Plus, a whistleblower is now able to sue Wells Fargo over sham interviews with minority candidates.
Accountability is crucial in that space.
Absolutely. SunKing, the off-grid solar company, is planning a major fundraising to expand access to electricity in Africa.
That's a great initiative, very impactful.
The EU has also pledged billions to boost renewable energy in Africa.
Good to see international collaboration.
Speaking of Europe, the EU is warning Italy over its use of golden powers to block corporate takeovers.
More tension within the bloc.
Fortress Investment Group is looking to expand its non-performing loan business in Europe.
They see opportunity in distressed assets.
Seems so. Short sellers are targeting debt issued by Ineos, Jim Ratcliffe's chemicals giant.
Concerns about the chemical sector in general?
Apparently so. Let's talk about AI again. What's the latest?
A lot of talk about potential for overinvestment and speculation.
The CEO of Intel actually came out to defend against reports of trade secret theft from Taiwan Semiconductor.
IP protection is a big issue in that space.
A judge said that forcing Google to sell its ad exchange could take a while, and the buyers must be appropriate.
Antitrust cases are always complex.
U.S. officials are discussing the possibility of letting NVIDIA sell its H200 AI chips to China.
That's a tricky issue, given all the geopolitical tensions.
It's a tightrope. The Department of Defense will lend $700 million to rare earth magnet producers.
Onshoring critical material production is a big strategic priority.
Absolutely. We also saw 2 British teenagers plead not guilty to cyber attacks.
More cybersecurity issues than ever these days.
Right, and Kathy Wood's ARK bought more NVIDIA stock after the earnings report.
She is dedicated to her strategy.
And finally, India implemented some major labor law changes to attract investment.
Making it easier to do business is a smart move.
It is. Shifting gears one more time, what about some of those lighter headlines?
Okay, hit me.
Apparently there's a wedding of a tea shop entrepreneur and a solar panel heiress in China. A rare glimpse into wealth.
Sounds like a fascinating event.
The world's largest nuclear power plant in Japan just got approval to restart.
Watershed moment.
Exactly. A key Chinese lithium mine is preparing to reopen as well.
More lithium production is good for the EV industry.
It is. A cold snap is gripping Europe, and heavy snow is expected in the Alps.
Winter is coming.
Indeed. Let's not forget the news from Down Under, with Canva seeing a surge in users.
An Australian success story.
The initial public offering of Grow is the culmination of almost a decade's work.
I always love hearing founder stories.
Agreed. Some banks in Switzerland are being accused of being too lax on mortgages.
Financial regulators need to stay vigilant.
What about a few final topics before we wrap up?
Sounds good.
The judge overseeing the DOJ's antitrust case involving Google's ad tech monopoly expressed concerns over how long a forced sale might take.
The issue of remedies in those cases is always complicated.
The U.S. Justice Department urged a judge to reject a request to dismiss death penalty charges in the United Health Group executive shooting.
A tragic situation.
A planned $2.3 billion leveraged loan sale was scrapped due to weak demand.
The leveraged loan market has been a little shaky.
It has. Asi Munir beamed after meeting Donald Trump.
Interesting anecdote about international relations.
IAG, parent company of British Airways, submitted its interest in TAPES-A.
Consolidations across the airline industry.
Seattle-Tacoma International Airport could face jet fuel disruptions.
Sounds like a travel headache in the making.
It does, and the Canada Post and union strike appears to be ending.
Good news ahead of the holidays.
It is. The Fed agreed to give banks more time to weigh in on the stress test proposal.
More time for commentary.
Poland issued bonds linked to a new money market benchmark.
Transitioning away from the old benchmark.
We're seeing more examples of resistance cinema.
Art as commentary.
A mortgage loan for Chicago's Bank of America Tower is being refinanced.
Rare bright spot in commercial real estate.
Agreed. Anything else stand out for you this week?
I found the piece about how breathwork became the new meditation interesting.
Self-care is a growing trend.
Definitely.
Okay, to summarize, we've seen volatility in the markets, especially in tech, with ongoing AI bubble concerns. Geopolitical tensions remain high, particularly between the U.S. and Russia, China and Japan, and in the Middle East. On the corporate front, there's potential consolidation in fashion and media, as well as strategic moves in the tech and energy sectors.
Lot to unpack.
Absolutely. Lots of moving parts.
Agreed.
So we've covered a lot today.
We sure have.
A lot to process, for sure.
Yes, quite the week.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's Nexus Briefing. Thanks for tuning in.